if you wanted somebody to rehearse a positive future, to come up with almost the experience now of a positive future, so they were motivated for it, and they had a view of where they were going to, because I think direction is very important. What would you advise people to do? How would you start?
Okay. Well, you can, if you think about it like this, if at the moment in your timeline, let's say you're in the present moment,
yeah,
that's always possible. Anything you're doing, when you're doing it, you're actually in the present moment. Even if I said to you in your mind, go to tomorrow, but I want you to be there tomorrow. In other words, I'm putting you in tomorrow into a space that's tomorrow. You're still in the present, even though in your mind, even though spatially you're in tomorrow. So, I mean, that's a kind of an odd thing to think, but let me try to explain it to you this way. My son would do this in high school once he learned timelines. They were doing a play, and the children were worried, of course, that they might forget their lines. So he had them learn all their lines, and then go, and without even going to practice the lines again and again and again, he did it a few times with him, and even over a few days. Then he had them go to, because there's a certain thing about how you feel, that the emotions you have at a time when you're being successful, those things are good to have, so to go to after having already done something, and then looking back and looking at the things you did to get to that particular moment in time, that pretty much makes it work, because most people aren't aware of how they're going to feel. They get worried, they get nervous, they get anxious, they get to states of different anticipation, whatever the case is, but they haven't gotten to past that point yet. I have a saying, I tell people, I go, listen, you ever notice it's always easier to do something the second time? And that's true. Okay. Now the trick is, of course, or the key is, how do you do that in your mind, so that when you finally do it again, it seems so it's so familiar to you that it's easy to do. Most people don't understand how that works, and it's all based on timelines.